In this video, I'm going to go through how much every single platform pays you for 1,000 views. And in case you're wondering how I know the answer to these questions, well, it's because I'm monetized on all of these platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and YouTube. And I have over 1 million followers across these platforms, so instead of yapping, let's just get right into the video. And just so you guys know, I will be following the social media monetization cheat sheet, which by the time this video goes out, I think we should have this shipped for you guys, which I'll leave the link to in the description. If not, make sure to subscribe to this channel because I'll be making an announcement on the community tab when this is ready to come out. The first social media platform that most of you guys already probably know about or have heard of is YouTube Longform. Now, here's an example of one of my monetized YouTube Longform channels and also how much money it actually makes. And if we look through the past 365 days, you can see this channel has made me around 5K, and that's just directly from ad revenue. Now, the way that it works to get monetized on YouTube is that you just need to have at least 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months and at least 1,000 subscribers. So you might ask, well, how many views do I have to actually get to roughly hit 4,000 watch hours? And the way that you could go about calculating that is by saying something like, let's say you could have the average viewer watch at least 3 minutes of your videos. So you get 3 minutes, which is also 0.05 of an hour per view, which means to get 1 hour of watch time on YouTube, you actually need 20 views. So then we just need to multiply 20 views, which equates to 1 watch hour, times 4,000 watch hours, which gives us 80,000 views on YouTube, and that's within 365 days. I know that sounds really hard, but it's actually more achievable than you think, because if you're able to post every other day, so around 180 times a year, your average video only needs to get like 450 views for that to be possible, and you're allowed to have one video get like 10 or 20,000 views, and the other ones can do much worse if you can just get one that can pop off like that. So this is more achievable than more people understand. But yeah, and once you get there, your RPM will depend a lot on a lot of different things. Like for example, your niche, how old the audience is, the location of your audience, and the video length are all different factors that affect how much money you get paid per 1,000 views. But just to show you an example on my channel, if we actually look at the revenue and we go to how much money I get paid per 1,000 views on long form videos, it's around $3.92, or basically like $4 per every 1,000 views that I get. So that's how much YouTube Longform pays you, but that's the only long-form platform. Now let's get into every single short-form platform. Now, YouTube Shorts is also a platform that I've used to be able to make a good amount of money. You can see just in the past 90 days of this channel right here, I've made $5.6 thousand. And if we include some of the YouTube Shorts channels that I used to run, we had this one that made $12,000 and this one that made $5,000. Now, I no longer run these, but we were still able to make a good amount of money from them. And the way that it works is, I'll be honest, it takes a while to actually get monetized on these platforms. So you need at least 10 million views in the past 90 days with Shorts, and you need at least 1,000 subscribers. Now, the good news is that it's actually possible to hit this with like just a singular video that goes mega viral. Like for example, if we look at my juggling channel and we go to content and then we sort my shorts by the videos that have the most views, we can see I actually have 4 videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, that alone would have gotten me over 10 million views on YouTube Shorts. Then I have a bunch of videos as well, which got 8 million, 7 million, 5 million, 7 million, 3 million. So if you combine these together, then it becomes a lot easier to pass that view threshold. Once you get monetized, then you can make around 10 to 25 cents per 1,000 views. And it really depends on where the viewers are actually from. So if your viewers are from a low RPM location, like somewhere like India or low RPM countries, then you're not going to make as much money per 1,000 views. But if your viewers are all from a higher income country like the United States, you'll make much more money. And if we look at my actual analytics on my actual channel, and we look at my RPM on Shorts, we can see that my average RPM is around 0.26, which makes sense because most of my audience is actually from the United States. Now, I've seen people's be as high as 0.35, or otherwise known as 35 cents per 1,000 views, and that's probably because they didn't have 6.1% of their audience from India or 4.2% of their audience from Philippines, which both are lower RPM countries. So that's how YouTube works, and from YouTube, I actually recommend you make sure you post all your content on every single other platform, and there's a very simple reason for that, and it's because all these other platforms can make a bunch of money for you as well. To show you guys an example, I actually wanted to look at TikTok. Now, TikTok only pays creators out for 1 minute plus videos. To get monetized, you just need to have at least 10,000 followers and at least 100,000 views in the last 30 days. And once you get this, as long as your videos are pretty original, you can actually make a lot of money from it. And just to show you guys that, this is my channel right here with 295K followers. You can see here in just the past 60 days, I've actually made $4.4 thousand. And the way that I did this, by the way, is not by manually posting all my videos on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram and on every platform. I actually just use a tool called Repurpose, which I'll leave in the description. It's 100% free to start. You can just click login with Google right here. And what it lets you do is it lets you set up automations between platforms. So I have a bunch of automations set up so that when I post on Instagram, which I do manually, my videos automatically get reposted to YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, X, etc. That makes it so I'm pretty much earning passively from all these other platforms, so you guys can do the exact same thing as well. Once you hit these monetization thresholds, you can actually make a lot of money per 1,000 views depending on your additional reward. So the way it works is on TikTok, as you can see here, there's a standard reward and then there's an additional reward. Standard reward is what you get just for your video's views, but additional reward is a certain amount extra that they'll decide whether or not to give you just based on whether the videos that you post are like highly specialized. They don't actually define what this looks like, unfortunately, but they do basically say that if your videos have high engagement, are original, and are educational or spoken from someone like an expert, it's much more likely to have an additional reward. And this can get really high. I've actually had some videos that have gotten me much closer to a $2 RPM, which is insane. That basically means I'm getting paid as much as YouTube would pay me for a long form video, but it is way easier to get views on shorts. So you can get basically like a long form RPM on a TikTok video, which is just like 1 minute long, by getting additional rewards. So this has been a great additional source of income for me. And yeah, thank you TikTok for rewarding us for the videos that we actually post. And yeah, it's pretty sick. Like you can see on December 14th, $246 in 1 day from the type of content that I'm posting. Pretty freaking awesome, right? Okay, so scrolling to some other platforms, the next thing we have here is Instagram. Instagram technically has something called bonuses, but it is basically impossible to get into. And I actually know this because I am really lucky and I got into it. Bonuses are invite only. If you get it, it'll just show up in your professional dashboard under monetization, but almost everyone doesn't get access to this. My RPM wasn't that high, and they currently switched it so you only get paid for photos and carousels. So Instagram is a platform that I wouldn't really consider when it comes to making money with ad revenue because they just don't have something like YouTube or TikTok does when it comes to just hitting certain thresholds and then getting monetized from those thresholds. Snapchat, on the other hand, is a little bit more in between. They do have a monetization program and you can apply, but it's very hard to get into. Since it's a little complicated, I'm not going to go into exactly how to get accepted. You basically need something called a Snapstar, which I have some guides on that are actually links within this cheat sheet. So make sure you download the cheat sheet in the description. If it's not ready, you can just look up MoneyMind, how to make money with Snapchat, and get my full guides here. But basically you need at least 50,000 followers, and then you need to do a couple things to get a Snapstar and ultimately get invited. But once you get in, once again, you can start making around 5 to 25 cents per 1,000 views that you get on your Snapchat stories. So it's basically like being able to get paid from YouTube again, but from a whole nother platform. So again, for that reason, I really recommend using Repurpose, getting all your videos on Snapchat so you can hit 50,000 followers as quickly as possible, and then you can actually apply to get monetized as quickly as possible. Scrolling down, we have another platform known as Facebook, which I am soon to be monetized on, I believe, and is actually a really interesting platform. Most of what I'm talking about here comes from what my friends have talked about since they are actually monetized on Facebook and I'm not currently yet. But if you start up a Facebook page and open your professional dashboard, and you go under monetization, you will see that you may or may not actually have access to a lot of different monetization tools. There's all these ones that I'm already in, but the ones that you can actually earn money from just for your views is called content monetization right here. And the thing is, once you actually submit your application to join, you will just be put on the wait list and you won't automatically get into their monetization program. And so you're kind of just here and you have to wait to get monetized. That's very unfortunate, but that is the way that it goes. If you get to at least 10,000 followers though, I recommend you apply and you just wait on getting monetized. You have to wait for manual approval, but based on the friends that I've had that have gotten into this, it seems like they can pay you around 10 cents to around $1 per 1,000 views. And if you can get your videos over 90 seconds long, you can make a bunch of extra money from monetization there. So those are all the platforms that we currently have to go over and how much all of them will pay you per 1,000 views, which means altogether, if you're posting on all these platforms, let's say you get a 15-cent RPM from YouTube, a 20-cent RPM from TikTok, no money from Instagram, a 10-cent RPM from Snapchat, and let's say a 30-cent RPM from Facebook. that means that you could be making much closer to actually like 60 cents per 1,000 views, and even much higher than that, depending on the luck and the audience that you are specifically targeting on your platform. If you're just targeting people from the US and you're getting additional rewards on TikTok, you could literally be making like $3 per 1,000 views. And that's just because you're posting to every single one of these platforms and they all are paying you per 1,000 views instead of just one. So again, I recommend using Repurpose for that. I've been using it and it's been able to generate me a bunch of extra money when it comes to TikTok especially. So yeah, and if it's ready, this social media monetization cheat sheet will be in the description for you guys. And as always, our mission with this channel is to get you guys the best information on how to grow on social media and how to make extra money from what you're already posting. So with that being said, make sure to leave a like if we actually delivered on that mission. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one, and peace.